Hi, my name is Shawn with SITEK Process Solutions, and today I'm going to show you how to remove and install an N2 valve on an SRD. The first step that you're going to want to take is you're going to want to disconnect all of the connections on the valve. This one has a branch T in it right here, so I'm going to unscrew both of these caps. I'm also going to disconnect the quick fittings from the 20 psi switch. Disconnect the incoming N2 from the bottom of the N2 distribution manifold. And then you're going to want to disconnect. I use a little pair of pliers to pull them off because they get stuck on there pretty good. To disconnect the lines for your anti-static and your labyrinth seal. And if sometimes they're on there really tight, and you may have to cut them off actually. All right, I had to go and get a pair of flush cuts so I could just trim the tube off a little bit on the end, because sometimes if they're on there that tight, you're not going to be able to pull them off without breaking your barb. So you should hopefully have a little bit extra length on there so you can take off a little bit of the tube if you need to. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to do is disconnect the air supply lines that come from the solenoids to the valves. These ones should pop off like that because these barbs are a little bit smaller than the ones that are on the N2 distribution manifold. You're going to want to also try to remember which one goes to which spot, so when you reconnect the valve, it'll function properly. So I'm going to just kind of tuck this one that goes on top up top so that I can remember where it goes. All right, the next step is on the inside of the valve right here. Actually, I'll have to do that after I remove the valve. So the next step is you're going to want to take a 5/16 wrench and remove the hardware that holds the valve to the bowl. Then the valve's removed. You can either cut this one like I did before, or once you have it off, you can actually unscrew it if you need to from the tool. I'll unscrew it real quick just to show you. When you order a valve, your valve is probably not going to come with the N2 distribution manifold attached or your branch T, so you are going to want to unscrew those and then attach them to the new valve when you go to install it, and make sure that you wrap the connections with Teflon tape before installing the fittings. So now I'm going to show you how to reinstall the valve on the tool. You're going to want to either screw this fitting back in for the supply line for the N2 distribution manifold. This is actually the supply line for the solenoid bank. Next step you're going to want to do is reattach the bracket to the bowl and install the hardware. Stick it in my gloves. Tighten down the hardware. You just need to snug it. You don't need to crank it down because you don't want to break the studs off the bowl. Then reinstall your lines for your solenoid bank. or for your reinstall your lines for your labyrinth seal and your anti-static. Then you're also going to want to remember which lines that you had because they need to go back in the valve the way they were removed. So you want to go, and it's also from the solenoid bank at the top. It's top barb goes to the bottom barb on the valve, and the bottom barb from the solenoid bank goes to the top barb on the valve. Okay, reattach the lines for that, and then you're going to want to reattach the quick fittings for your 20 psi switch. Reattach your caps and your ferrules for the N2 supply to the N2 heater cartridge and the purge. And then also make sure you have your ferrules on there and reattach the N2 supply line for the valve. Now the valve is reinstalled and ready to run.